ברוך אתה אדוני אלוהינו מלך העולם שהכל נהיה בדברו. I have already commented this in the past. The experiment of placing Adam and Eve in the Garden of Eden didn't work out. It didn't work out. Why didn't it work out? Who knows why? But maybe because man needs challenges. This business of living in a place where everything grows, you don't have to do anything about it, maybe leads to boredom. He had one law to obey and he disobeyed that. It didn't work out. Man was expelled from the Garden of Eden and he had to start working the earth, making sure that things grow. He had to feed animals. He had to do many things that he didn't have to do before. Maybe humanity begins really with the expulsion from the Garden of Eden. This is what we are. We need challenges. We have to have obstacles that we can overcome, and this way we grow also. This is what happened. But yet, the descendants of Adam somehow didn't behave right. And God felt after 10 generations, I'm going to destroy this world because it isn't working out. It's not working out. But there was one man that did behave in a correct manner. His name was Noah. So God told Noah, go build an ark and I'm going to save you. And from you we'll have a new humanity. I hope a better humanity. That was the purpose of it all. And actually the world was inundated by water. Everything perished in the world except the fish, of course. Everything perished. And at the end, only Noah and his immediate family were saved with species of animals that he took into the boat that he built for 120 years, according to our ancestors, in order to tell people, I'm doing something, the world is going to be destroyed, change your ways, but it didn't help. Okay, the world is destroyed. Noah is the only one that survives. Our rabbis say, true, Noah was exceptional when compared with everybody else, but had he lived in the time of Abraham, he wouldn't have been such a righteous person because Abraham was much, much more than he was. I always felt our rabbis are not gracious with Noah. Listen, notwithstanding the people that he had around him, notwithstanding the robbery and whatnot that was going on, the sexual deviations that were going, he maintained a normal life. So why don't you give him credit? I think that the basic observation of our rabbis, the basic criticism is that Noah saved himself and nobody else. But we said 120 years he was building an ark and he was telling people, God is going to destroy the world, do something. Well, apparently maybe he wasn't as convinced himself about it. Had he been really convinced of what was going to happen, I am sure that he would have been able to have other people follow him as well. So what does Noah represent? Noah represents individuality. I just take care of myself and that's it. I take care of my immediate family. Everybody else, well, each one has to fend for himself. That was no good. We see he's the only one that saved himself. After that, there's an episode called the Tower of Babel. Suddenly we hear of the following, that the people get together, the descendants of this Noah, get together to build an enormous tower so that this tower can be seen from a great distance so you don't get lost. We're all going to stay in the same place. We're going to take care of each other. We're going to speak the same language. We are going to be a commune. We are going to be together and we are going to help each other or what have you. But sooner or later, the idea of the welfare of the state means that the individual doesn't really matter that much. Our rabbis say the following, that while they were building this tower, if one of the elements of the tower, one of the bricks would fall down, they'd cry, our tower is going to be delayed because we lost that. If one of the workers fell down, we'll have another one. And that's it. The individual stops having any worth at all. What is important is really the whole, the commune. That is what, This is what happened in tyrannies, in modern times, in communism and so on. In China, Mao's time, remember what happened, hunger, millions of people died because everything was for the welfare of society. Society will benefit eventually from that. In the meantime, individuals die. Well, too bad that they are dying. This is what happened then. God decided this is no good either. He dispersed them. And they started going to different places. They couldn't understand each other's language. Babel, that's where you get that word, babbling, because they couldn't understand each other suddenly. And each one developed his own language. You're going to live all over the world. It seems that neither, when you only think about the commune, about society as a whole, that is the most important thing, that doesn't work. When you think about the individual, it's also no good. What you need really maybe is different groups. There is competition between different groups. I try to be better than you. I develop in a different way. When you have this interaction between different groups, this is the way society is able to emerge. Society is able to develop. If you have only one way of living, you have one way of belief, if you have one way of conducting yourself, it's no good. Let the Jews go to the synagogue. Let the Christians go to the church. Let the Muslims go to the mosque. Each one, let him do his own thing. The moment that you have only one, tremendous peril, because then you become very egotistical. When there is only the welfare of society as a whole, it's also no good because the individual lacks any importance at all. I think that what eventually happened, that the fact that we went to different parts of the earth, we developed different languages, different way of thinking, and the interaction between the groups is what really gives the possibility for humanity to grow. So don't be in favor of one law for everybody else. Let everybody serve God according to his own tradition, and you will see that the interaction will bring about the development, the growth, the emotional and spiritual growth of all of humanity.